from Maintenance Experts. Again, I'm here just to talk about a particular thing about maintenance. Now, today's topic is called improving maintenance, or how do you get, like, what can you save in maintenance? What can you achieve? What can you do? I mean, I do own a software company for maintenance management, and the software does relate to it, but these stories that I'm going to be telling you are really just, they're the things that I've been involved with for the last 25 years. And it's just about what you can do in maintenance, like how you can actually achieve things. So I'll stop the blah, blah, blah. I'm just getting to it. Look, I've got two things to talk about, okay? Two. First thing is mobile gear, the next one is switch plant. With the mobile gear, this is the first time I ever really got involved in doing good maintenance practices. And I wanted to go through what we achieved. It was a mining operation, and our running costs for maintenance went from $180 an hour down to $70 an hour by just doing simple, straightforward stuff. And when you think about it, it's a significant change, 180 down to 70. So, and I'll just give you a bit of a rundown. Like, let's look at what it was like, you know, and what we did to actually change it. I mean, firstly, the fleet of trucks, okay, there were 9 underground mining trucks, okay, but it could be any form of mobile gear, it doesn't matter. And really, we had huge problems with them. They were always breaking down. So, operations always wanted to have 5 of them, and really we only ever had 4 available. The rest of them were being pulled apart or blown up or something or other. So we had a real issue going on. The maintenance cost of them was enormous. And actually, sorry, today I actually have to refer to those because I want to give you more details. But we did actually have a maintenance program for it as well. We did 250, 500, blah, 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 our services on all the units. We also did an 8,000 hour rebuild, which in the end, actually, I stopped altogether. But that involved actually stripping the truck down to basically to a bare frame and then putting it back together with new bits and pieces. So, you know, the availability was low, the condition of the equipment was low. Basically, the gear was never, you know, it was always just bits and pieces, it was rubbish. I mean, let's face it, the whole thing was a mess, okay? Morale was low, some of the operators, I mean, I have to actually say, the operators are mysterious. Damage was high, you know, and probably you may be listening to this now going, yeah, that probably sounds like what my operation's like. So, what did we do to actually change it around? Well, there was a number of things. You know, basically, well, the biggest factor, which I've already alluded to, was that we actually stopped doing the rebuilds. I actually worked out that doing a rebuild at 8,000 hours on some of these units, the whole philosophy is you rebuild and you get the availability and the, you know, the sort of, you get a new truck back, effectively. Well, it never worked out like that. I mean, I plotted all that information out, and it has seemed we've got a bit of a spike after we rebuilt it, but it soon just went back to what it was, which was, it was an old bit of gear, getting old, and it was going to get older. So I stopped doing that. However, we actually did change our entire philosophy of it, and we started doing 4,000 hour replacements, 2,000 hour replacements, you know, the specific components. If the engine was due to go at 8,000, you did it. If the turbo needed to go at 2,000 or 4,000, you did it then. And you basically looked at the history to see when these things had to be done. So instead of doing the big overhaul of the whole thing, we actually just did 1 bit at a time. We also got rid of one of the trucks. I mean, basically, they reach a certain age where you just have to say, look, this thing is over. It's, you know, the frame's starting to crystallise, we weld something up and we send it back to work and it still fractures the next day. Just give up altogether. So we actually replaced one of those trucks as well. Another part which we did a lot of was actually working with operations, because, you know, it's the us and them type attitude. Now, you may remember I spoke about maintenance strategy in one of my videos, and I talked about selling maintenance. Well, operations don't have a good view of what maintenance is. As far as they're concerned, they almost think we're actually keeping the equipment from them. And so, you know, we definitely had barriers between operations and maintenance here. So, I had to spend a lot of time actually, working with them to actually see we were trying to do some good. I mean, we did things, for example, we gave them a schedule of when trucks were coming in so they could see, week to week to week, what bit of gear was coming in, what bit wasn't, when they would and when they wouldn't have equipment. Of course, that never goes down well because the way that it was operating is because we had such little availability. If they needed a truck and it was due for service, they didn't give it back to us, they just kept the thing. Another big issue, actually other things were cleanliness. We actually started to clean the trucks all the time, and we actually tried to get it to being once a week or once a day. I can't remember exactly what it was. And also too, with servicing took on a different sort of an angle. Because servicing is always like, you get the book from, whatever the supplier is, Caterpillar, I can't remember the other names now, Terex, whatever it may be, and they say 250 hours, you drop this, you do that, and that's effectively what the whole thing is. Well, in reality, it's not, because what you're trying to do is return the bit of gear in good condition. So, a service to us required cleaning. One of the biggest issues we used to have is trucks would actually be put down, we can't use that one because the radio's not working, the heater's not working, the seats are torn. So we used to spend time at servicing to make sure the cabin was clean and neat and blah blah blah, it was all looking great. And it made a really big difference because the people, the operators that were using it, almost all of a sudden started to have more respect for the equipment because it was nice and they wanted to be in a nice thing. Also too, when trucks came in, if they did have panels smashed or whatever, we actually went out of our way to actually fix them up. Or we gave them a bit of a coat of paint. I mean, come on, it's yellow. It wasn't hard, we've got a spray kit. And so basically just went for our life and made the equipment look better. Invariably, it did change their attitudes towards it. So there's all those little bits and pieces. And I won't spend too much time carrying on here. Yeah, basically, and I've got to be honest, that's pretty much it. And other bits and pieces we did, cleaning workshops. Okay, the workshop was always clean. And the end result from doing this was quite amazing. I didn't even really realise we would do so well. But we went from $180 an hour for maintenance down to $70 an hour, and it happened in less than a year. It was that simple. And if you look at what I've just said, what did I do that was tricky? What did we do as a group of people doing maintenance? What did we do? We didn't do much at all. We actually just started to look at what was there and go, hey, we can make this better. So it worked. Now, to take it a step further, by the way, the concrete truck outside is now stopped, so I can do it a bit softer. It was really, it was simple. Where it led to is that the operators actually wanted us to then focus our attention on the other bits of gear, the loaders, for example. And it was interesting. I mean, I won't go through the whole thing. The biggest issue we had with loaders was actually not to do with, servicing, etc. It was to do with the freaking bucket. And what we actually had to do is when bits of gear came in, we actually spent more time looking at, the peripheral stuff in our service to make sure it was going to be returned in good order. So, if there was loose key or if there was a tooth missing, we actually replaced it. If the tyres weren't good, if the tyres weren't matched up, we replaced that stuff. And again, we did things like the cabinet, etc. Simple stuff, and it just worked. So, it was that simple. By the way, how hard was it to do, to actually achieve that? It was really hard because the problem is that there's extra workload required, and that's what you may be interested in as well. When you go from a situation of being just breakdown and you want to become more PM related, and by the way, the end result for us, I can't remember the figures now. Our PM level load went way up high because our breakdowns stopped occurring. And I've forgotten what I was talking about. I'll get back to it in a second. Going from breakdown to PM, it's how much, it's like there's a big hump. Because the thing is, if you try to stay start doing this PM stuff, it's really hard because you've still got all this breakdown going on. You go, well, I can't do the PM because this is occurring. So you will find there's going to be this huge hump that you have to get over. And if anyone here, if you're watching this and you're going, yeah, that's what we have to do in our operation, the period that it takes is about 3 months, okay? There's going to be a 3-month, oh my God, I would rather stab myself in the face type feeling. Because it's literally you have to go from, you know, everything just come to the door, fallen bits, things blown up, and you have to dedicate firstly people, resources, time, all that, and you're going to have to argue a lot with operations to keep that gear in to be serviced. It's hard work. So you're going to need extra, you're going to need a hand, you're going to need extra things. What can you do? Okay, you can get specialist contractors in, you can employ some staff to do that sort of thing, but you're going to need something extra to get you over that hump. And as I said, 3 months, and if you do it, that 3-month period will seem like it's the best time ever because then it starts to get cruisy and you have less and less breakdown. I wanted to talk about another particular example though, and that is to do with fixed plant. Okay, this is a completely different scenario. I was actually there installing my software and brand new production plant. Okay, so it was being turned on while I was there. A decent size, I won't say it wasn't enormous, but it was a decent size. But it was pretty much automated. There was a very small operating crew, and the maintenance crew was 3 people. Okay, and those 3 people, I wouldn't say they were experienced in, you know, the area of big plant maintenance. I mean, one of the guys actually used to have been a butcher, and he moved into maintenance, and I just went, now we could be in for a lot of hurt. I hung around for a while and actually helped them put systems together, and it was quite amazing because this plant, okay, day 1 turned on. What we instigated straight up was an inspection routine, and I've spoken about this before. Inspections are a part of good maintenance, okay? We actually had, it was like a 20 or 30 page document, okay, and each day, one of those 3 guys would actually grab the sheet and actually wander around the plant, and he'd be doing things like listen for unusual noises, let's take a temperature reading, a pressure reading, you know, is anything noisy that shouldn't be noisy? Is anything blocked? Is something covered up with crap? And it was just these 20 pages of literally tick boxes and boxes to fill in. We started doing that right from day 1, and every time the guy did the inspection, what we did is we sat down at the end of it. It used to take 2 or 3 hours to go through the whole plant, and then he would report back to us as to anything we found unusual. Now, the upside of the whole thing is that in the first year of operation, now this was 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, operation, did not want to stop for anything, as always, they had 96% availability for that year. And I think that is pretty goddamn impressive how they've actually done it. And it came down to these inspections. And it was interesting to do it from the point of view of seeing it, you know, if you start doing it right up front, when you knew what effect it has. The key parts were, we did an inspection. Then, it's not just that, it's we sat down again and we treated the inspection with respect. And I know some of you who are watching this may go, hey, yeah, we get inspections done as well. But what they often do is they end up with an in-tray, okay, and they don't get looked at for 3 days. Well, the whole idea of this was, the inspection done, sit down, go through it, and then you say, okay, what can we, can't we do, what should we do? And it was funny, I'll give you one example of it. 3 days in, one of the guys actually came back and sat down and he said, okay, this particular bit of gear was making a huge amount of noise, down low. So we all just, went through the whole thing, and then afterwards we went out and we went to the bit of gear and we had a bit of a look and listen, and we went, yeah, none of us were experts in this particular bit of gear, but something was not right, something just didn't sound right. So we went to the drawings, blah, blah, blah. Cut a long story short, we got some parts flown in, we had to stop the plant for an hour, took the side panels off, replaced, I think it was just a bush of some kind that we replaced, sealed it back up, turned the thing on, and it was all hunky-dory. And that's what we got from the inspection. By the way, if we had not done that, I have no doubt whatsoever that it would have failed eventually. And when it had failed, it probably would have been down for a week because the parts that we actually used, we actually didn't have in the country. Okay, it took us 3 days on our own to actually get it flown in. So if it had been a breakdown situation, and you know how that works, it would have been Sunday morning, it would have just been sheer chaos for the next week. So it allowed us, it showed the true value of it. Now, it was that simple. It's basically, do the inspection, follow it up, and everything will be great. And that's all I've got to really say about it. It was that simple. If we had contractors come on site to do the servicing, but really, it was a very simple process to make maintenance work well. And that's really all I've got to say about these subjects is to make maintenance, function well. It may not be what you term as being obvious, because in most situations, it had servicing being done, which was what the supplier said, what the manufacturer, etc., has told us this is what we need to do. But really, it's not that. I mean, one of the big things we got out of the fixed plant example there was that observation, and familiarity makes a huge difference, because these guys, by wandering around the plant each day, started to get a real good feel as to how this worked. What noises it made, is it hot, is it cold, all that sort of stuff. And that familiarity is what made the inspections really work, because they started to go, hey, that's not right. So observing what's going on will often lead you to your best PM program. And your PM program is not actually what they tell you to do. It's there to actually minimise your loss. And if your PM program dictates to you that once a month we need to make sure all the preset radio stations are on that radio, then that's the way it is, because that's going to help you minimise that loss. And I mean, it seems stupid, but often the little tiny things can make the biggest difference. So on that note, that's how you can improve maintenance. I mean, I did make notes for myself, but I've actually hardly referred to them. I hope I haven't missed out on any major items, but until next time, see ya.